Hello, thank you for joining us here at Oakman High School in Oakman, Alabama. We're talking the Pack Way here on this summer edition of Go Wildcats with head coach Ryan Hall. All right, Coach, so tell us quickly, summary statement, what is the Pack Way?
Yeah, it's just it creates a lot of clarity for our team and program and coaches and everybody. It's just kind of something we can all grasp. And, a lot of people build their environment around quotes or maybe a book or something, but, they're all over the place with it. Well, this kind of creates that identity for us with the Pack. And it's deeply rooted in team and family and sacrifice. And, if you ever study the function of a wolf pack, it's kind of everything's a team effort, and there's really no such thing as a lone wolf. They kind of wander off and die, and so survival is dependent upon everybody in the pack executing their job, and so that's kind of our environmental theme and culture theme. I don't know that that's kind of an overused word sometimes, but it's what we want to kind of teach and what we want to hang on to, and we always want to go back to that, and we think it's got great application to life. And it's one of those things. We want to be deeply rooted in those things: team and sacrifice, unselfishness, and everybody executing. Everybody has value, and the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. And we believe that, and we want to build our program around that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great insight that I had not realized before, is that a pack is actually a family unit, mother, father, and kids, and they grow up even as adults in the pack. It's a wonderful application, the family aspect. Let's talk how that first impacts the field. How does that Pack Way mentality or mindset look on a Friday night or on a midweek practice? What are we talking about there?
Yeah, we go kind of even deeper than that into how we approach the year with our players. There's 4 phases of it for us, and that is the stalk, which is all the preparation. As they go on a hunt, and they kind of the metaphor is, a wolf pack taking down a buffalo. One wolf can't take a buffalo down, right? And so there's got to be this teamwork, and you have all these different jobs, and the way one of them's maybe a scout wolf, one of them may be a caretaker, one of them may be one of the guys that goes on the attack, and so there's all these different things. But that's kind of how we build it. Is there's the stalk part, which is your preparation, which is what we're in now. And then the surround is kind of when you get into the meat of the season, a game week, and how you prepare during a game week, and the focus required to execute the task. And then you have the attack, which we want that to be a frenzy. We want to play aggressive and with guys coming at you from all directions, relentless. I kind of think of it like waves crashing up against the beach. It just never stops, and that's how we want to play. And so, and then finally the takedown, and that's kind of the finality of the game or whatever it is. And you can use that, that metaphor of the buffalo in anything in life. It can be a problem, it can be a test, it can be, you're going to prepare, right? You're going to go in there focused, ready to take the test, and then you're going to attack it with everything you got, relentless energy, and then hopefully you take that thing down by passing it and making the grade that you're trying to accomplish. So that kind of gives but it even goes farther than that. From a defensive perspective, we want 11 guys attacking the football. We don't believe you get a great running back, one-on-one, he's going to win a lot of those battles. But if we play 11-man football, we feel like that gives us an advantage. And that's where that team and family and everybody doing their job and functioning as a unit, we're dependent upon that. Our survival is dependent upon that. So, we try to build that offensively. The style of offense we play is everybody blocks. That's number one. You got to play with great effort, and you got to be willing to block. If you're not willing to do that, the offense doesn't work. And so, it's kind of, this is not the place where you just come and ball out and, it's about you. It's about 11 people executing assignment. And everybody's important. Everybody's valuable. So that's kind of the overall picture of how that lays out and how it builds into our football program.
Awesome. That's wonderful to hear. You mentioned already some of how that mindset helps them as, say, students or their teenage lives here off the field. Kind of fast forward for us as you think about them and their character as, say, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, how does this mentality, this mindset help them then? And how do you go about connecting those dots for them so that they see this is a life skill even more than it is a football thing?
You know, that's the challenge, is continually connecting those dots and giving them real life, real examples of how the stuff we're trying to teach them relates. And, you know, we want to be real strategic with our character education and not be all over the map. And like you said, you know, the family piece of that and the unselfish, being rooted in unselfishness, we feel like applies directly to being a man and a provider and, you know, sacrificing for the greater good of others, whether it be your immediate family or the community that you live in, and being unselfish and making a difference. And one of the big things that I think the pack teaches you is early on, some of these guys are not, you know, everybody's not the takedown wolf. Some of them run in there and get beat up and battered, and they have to take a shot for it to work. And so that may be that scout team defensive end that's going against our tackle every day and getting beat up, and he's getting pounded on, and he doesn't get to play a whole lot on Friday night. But what he's doing is he's sharpening that tackle, and he's making him better. He has tremendous value in our program.
Yep.
Just like in the pack mentality, some of those, they're not the ones out there, scouts, or they're taking care of people, or they're in the back. And so that to us, that applies in life. You know, you're not always going to get what you want in life. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to accept it, but you have to execute it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the message to our players. You know, you may be a scout team running back that plays the other team's offense every week, and you take a beating in practice, but you're valuable. You don't have to accept that. You can aspire and work hard every day relentlessly to be the starting running back. But in this moment, you got to execute that role
right.
for this thing to work. And so that, to me, that's kind of like being a father. I mean, there's a lot of times that we have to sacrifice for what our kids want. And it's not fun and enjoyable for us, but it's what we have to do. And for our family to work, you know, we have to do those things. So that's kind of the application. And then just the team working together, unity, just something that we need in these kids' life, in our world, is just, you know, learning to work with others, learning to sacrifice for the greater good, being a part of something bigger than yourself. You know, that's kind of the message in the pack is, you know, everybody has a role. Learn how to execute that role, and then go out and be a part of something bigger than yourself and make it better. And so, you know, that's kind of the overall philosophy, and we want them to carry that into life. When you go into a job, you know, they're going to ask you to do some things at times you may not want to do, and you need to do it and get after it and do it to the best of your ability, and wake up every single day, be thankful for the day that God gave you, and then go and roll and throw down and compete and get after it. And that's kind of the mindset of the pack is we're going to be the aggressor, and we're going to attack our jobs and duties to the best of our ability, and every day, you know, we're going to be on the hunt. And so I hope that's kind of the way that translates into life for them.
Very, very good. We're thankful to hear that, and we support you in all that, and we look forward to seeing these young men grow into young adults and adults who lead their homes, families, and in large part because of the influence here of this program. Stay tuned. We'll keep talking some more things in this video. We'll talk summer plans for the program, and we'll be sure to catch you up on what all is going on in the area. All right, Coach, so we talked a moment ago generally about how you try to translate this Packway mindset into football. That's your starting point kind of for a lot of this, but let's look specifically now for the summer months and specifically these next few weeks, how that looks for your program.
Well, we go into June, and we've always done a boot camp in June. Coach Painter runs that, and you know, obviously it's not military, but we want to take some of the things that we feel like that happen in a military boot camp that are really positive and help. We feel like that those are the greatest examples of team and building team and leadership out there for us. So we use that in a lot of ways, and Coach Painter sets that up, and we start to teach our culture, our pack way in that, and we get into leadership. You know, that's the big thing in that boot camp is following orders having a team, and then leadership. And for us, leadership's always about serving, communicating, motivating, and inspiring. And so there's a lot of opportunity within that boot camp for them to do that. And Coach Painter, he's hard on them, and it's tough, and it's not physically demanding to the point of it's not that. A lot of it's mentally demanding. Being here exactly on time, following orders, having the exact clothes on. Everybody has a shirt with a question mark on it because you got to earn your way out of that. And so we start building the pack and taking on roles and guys understanding those roles. And a lot there's times during that, and I think it's really neat what he does, but somebody really emerges as a leader in a group, and it's a competition. These groups are competing against each other. And he'll kill them for the day. Like, they can't do anything. They just have to lay and have to be carried from station to station. And so somebody else has to take leadership. And we bring in some Sergeant Davis came in last year from the Army, and he's a recruiter that goes around it. And it's really a unique thing, and we feel like it builds a lot of camaraderie amongst our team. The kids love it. They enjoy it. And so that's our big focus in June, is becoming the pack. Right? Like, we want to teach the principles of it. Here's what you got to do. But in these moments when you're dependent upon a guy next to you, that's where that's forged. And so we really try to do a lot of things here in June for that. It's not as football based. We're still going to live. We're still going to practice. We're still going to work on things. But we're going to work on the biggest thing is becoming the pack, becoming together, unifying our team, and getting guys to emerge. And, everybody's got to lead in some way, or everybody, and one of there's a great picture and the graphic of a wolf pack walking through the snow on a hunt, and there's leaders in the front, but there's also leaders in the back. And the leaders in the front are moving the snow for everybody to go through and make the path easier, but the leaders in the back are protecting and making sure everything's aligned. And it's a great illustration of discipline, leadership, and orderly, and how we've got to function to truly become the team that we want to become.
Fantastic. That sounds great. That you'll do well with that boot camp, and the kids will respond really well. Let's talk anything else you got going on football-wise.
We have a couple of things in June. We'll finish up June. I think it's the last Thursday in June, maybe the 30th. We have an OTA here. Start at 9 o'clock. That'll be with Marion County and Danville, and that's just basically we go out and practice against each other and try to get some reps in and put what we've been working on the field against the opponent. And then there's a big period there in July. I think it's July the 11th through the 14th. On that Monday, we have our Future Cats Camp, which is our youth camp, ages 5 to 12, July the 11th, 6 to 8. And it costs us $25, but we'll get out and have a little fun and teach a little football. And even in that deal, we want to talk about the pack and incorporate that into all that we do. And then on that Wednesday and Thursday, we have our Wildcat Challenge, which we'll bring in three other teams on Wednesday, and then 3 different teams on Thursday, and we kind of compete and play 7-on-7, some team stuff, and really get after it there. And then we have our Toy Bowl registration going on, and we want as many little Wildcats out there playing football as we can. And again, as our coaching staff's involved with that, we got great people leading that. But their sign-ups are June the 12th, 19th, and 24th from 2 to 4 at the concession stand here at the football stadium. So get out and get signed up for that, and just any way you can become a part of our program, we'd love to have you, whether it be through the quarterback club, Toy Bowl. We want to grow this thing, continue to get. That's what's great about high school sports is it impacts a lot of people, and there's a role in it for everybody, and that's part of the pack thought process. It's not just our player, but everybody has a role and a function and a duty for us to make this thing work at a high level. And so as many people as we can get involved, we want to. So that's kind of our summer, and we're about to be rolling wide open. So we're excited to get these kids back in here and get to work.
All right, sounds great. Wish you the best in all this. We'll see you again in July for another video. So until then, Coach.
Go Wildcats.